Pahuneyo, Dakineyo, Anjali Karaneyo, Anuttaro Punyaketang Lokasati. Okay, please be seated. Okay, some of them might not know who is Bhante Rathanasara, right? And I think many of them know him. But I still make a brief introduction of Bhante to everyone. Bhante Rathanasara was born in South Eastern Sri Lanka, and Bhante was ordained as a novice monk in 1984 at the age of 12, and received his higher ordination in 1998. Bhante holds a Bachelor of Arts, special degrees in mass communication, a Postgraduate Diploma in Fundamental Buddhist Studies, and a Master of Arts degrees in Buddhist Studies from University of Kelaniya. Bhante joined the famous Sri Lankaramaya Buddhist Temple in Singapore as resident monk in 2001. And in year 2018, Bhante dedicated full-time to teaching the Dhamma at the Dhammakami Buddhist Society in Singapore, where he is the founder and spiritual advisor. Being well-respected and frequently sought after Dhamma teacher, and Bhante also takes on the spiritual patron role in many Buddhist organizations. So, not to delay further, today Bhante will give a talk. I'm sure you all know what's the title of the talk. So, Bhante, please.
Before we proceed with our talk, let's spend some time for metta meditation, because we have 1.5 hours, so we can do a bit of meditation. Afterwards, we can have a talk and a Q&A session. Okay. You may sit in a comfortable sitting position, and let your feet relax on the ground, and keep your upper body in an upright position. Adopt the meditation posture by keeping back of your right palm on the top of the left palm. Close your eyes and let your body relax. Let yourself breathe in and out naturally. Pay attention to your own breath. Watch your breath as you breathe in. Watch your breath as you breathe out. Whenever your mind runs away, with kindness and compassion, with patience and understanding, bring your mind back to the attention of your own breath. Mindfully breathe in, mindfully breathe out. Gently pay attention to yourself. You deserve kindness and compassion. You deserve every well-being and happiness. You deserve to be forgiven. Let go any kind of anger, resentment, or any other negative thoughts if you are holding against yourself. Accept the way that you are right now. With this acceptance, kindness and compassion, Visualize yourself that you are sitting here with your fellow Dhamma friends. With that visualized image of yours, radiate a lot of metta towards you. Within yourself all the well-being and happiness. May I be healthy and strong. May I be calm and peaceful. May I be free from anger, hatred, and enmity. May I be free from worries and sufferings. May I be well. May I be happy. Two people in your life who are unique, who are incomparable. You cannot replace them. It is nearly impossible for you to repay them for what they have done for you. They are your mother and father. They brought you up, educated you, and provided you. They dedicated their lives for your well-being and happiness. Be grateful to them. Take care of them with best of your ability. Let go any kind of anger, resentment, or any other negative thoughts if you are holding against your mother and father. Ask the forgiveness if you have done anything wrong towards them. With these thoughts of gratitude, forgiveness, kindness and compassion, visualize your mother and father. With that visualized image of your mother and father, radiate a lot of metta towards them. My beloved mother, my beloved father, may you be healthy and strong. May you be calm and peaceful. May you be free from anger, hatred, and enmity. May you be free from worries and sufferings. May you be well. May you be happy. Left alone. You are surrounded by many good people. You are supported by many good people. Some of these people are known to you, like your relatives, friends, and loved ones. Others are totally strangers. Nevertheless, we depend on each other. We help each other. We need everyone's support to sustain, thrive, and live. Be grateful to all these good people. Let go any kind of anger, resentment, or any other negative thoughts if you are holding against your loved ones and relatives. With these thoughts of gratitude, forgiveness, and compassion, radiate metta towards all of them, wishing them all the well-being and happiness. My brothers and sisters, my relatives and friends, my teachers and well-wishers, may they all be healthy and strong. May they all be calm and peaceful. May they all be free from anger, hatred, and enmity. May they all be free from worries and sufferings. May they all be well. May they all be happy. Human beings create a lot of miseries and sufferings because of their own destructive defilements. Anger, hatred, ill will, jealousy, cruelty, resentment, and many other such negative destructive forces burst in violence, war, and many other crimes. If human beings can reduce these negative destructive power, and if they can cultivate metta and the other virtues, this human society can be more peaceful. Let's wish our fellow brothers and sisters understanding, courage, and skills to develop these great virtues and reduce destructive power within them. Let's take them group by group and radiate metta towards them. My fellow Dhamma brothers and sisters who are sitting with me here, my fellow brothers and sisters in Singapore, those who are living in neighboring countries, all the people who live in Asia, and all the human beings who live in this world, may they all be healthy and strong. May they all be calm and peaceful. May they all be free from anger, hatred, and enmity. May they all be free from worries and sufferings. May they all be well. May they all be happy. The earth is not the only place where life exists. There are many other planes of existence. Human beings, animals, as well as various other beings who live in different realms of existence. We all are interconnected, interrelated. We are moving from realm to realm without an end in this cycle of existence. Let's radiate boundless love and compassion towards all the sentient existence, wishing all these beings to be free from worries and sufferings, to be well, to be happy. Let's take the sentient existence group by group and radiate metta towards them. Those living beings who live on the land, those who live in the water, those who live in the space, those who are having gross level physical bodies, or those who are having subtle level astral bodies, those living beings that can be seen through our naked eyes, those living beings that cannot be seen through our naked eyes, those who live near or far, big or small, all the kinds of living beings who live in this world existence. May they all be healthy and strong. May they all be calm and peaceful. May they all be free from anger, hatred, and enmity. May they all be free from worries and sufferings. May they all be free from fear. May they all be safe May they all be well. May they all be happy in this world existence. Be free from worries and sufferings. Be well, be happy. May all the living beings attain bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Friends, with this we are going to have our Dhamma sharing. After the Dhamma sharing, if you have got any questions, we can spend a bit of time for that. Shall we put our palms together? Homage to Him, the Blessed One, the Exalted One, the fully enlightened One. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Good evening, Dhamma friends. When like-minded people get together to learn the Dhamma, there is always a happy congregation. When like-minded people get together, learn the Dhamma and practice together, that leads to well-being and happiness of many. Kālena Dhamma savanang etam mangalam uttamang. When people get together and listen to the Dhamma, that leads to great blessings. Kālena Dhamma sakacca etam mangalam uttamang. When these learned people get together and discuss the Dhamma, and that also leads to great happiness, and it is a blessing. So this is a pleasant evening, and each and every one of you looks so serene, calm, and peaceful. And we just finished practicing metta. And it is the right time, perfect time, to discuss the Dhamma. Today we are going to talk about how can we avoid spiritual bankruptcy. The base for this talk is Inner Sutta. In this sutta, at the very beginning, the Buddha addressed the monks and said, Dalidyang bhikkhave dukkhang lokasming kama bhogino. Monks, poverty is a misery for those who enjoy sensual pleasure. So remember these words. Buddha never glorified the poverty. Buddha encouraged all his lay followers to achieve wealth in a righteous way. However, while achieving the material wealth, we should not make ourselves spiritually poor. That's a very important point. As followers of the Buddha, we can enjoy sensual pleasures as lay people. Nevertheless, we should not let ourselves to be blinded. We need to understand the sensual pleasure and its nature, and we can enjoy them without being blinded by them. If you can practice in that way, then we will follow the path of the Buddha towards gradual awakening. For lay people, Buddha encouraged to achieve two types of wealth. One is material wealth, the other one is spiritual wealth. A bird needs two wings to fly. Exactly in the same manner. If we are to be happy, joyful, delightful, and if you were to lead a meaningful human lives, we cannot neglect either our material or spiritual aspect. We need to take care of both. So the advice of the Buddha to lay Buddhist followers to strike a balance and don't neglect either side of it. Now, in Inner Sutta, Buddha talks about a miserable, poor, destitute, indigent person. Because of his poverty, how he get into debt, and eventually how he become imprisoned and come into very miserable situation. And then he compared this person as a spiritually poor person also can become indebted spiritually and become imprisoned. So this sutta talks about a person who is materially very poor as well as a spiritually poor person. So our focus here today is to understand the spiritually poor person and how that person might lead to spiritual bankruptcy. Therefore, our topic is, let's avoid spiritual bankruptcy. In the sutta, the Buddha says, monks, there is this poor person, a destitute person, and of course he has desire to enjoy the sensual pleasure, but he doesn't have a means to afford his food, clothes, lodgings, and other things he wants. Therefore, he is suffering. And then he will borrow money in order to support himself, and when he borrows money, he is indebted. That is another suffering. He increases his suffering. So once you are indebted, then you have to pay the interest. When you promise to pay the interest, this is another suffering on top of the poverty. When you cannot pay the interest, the creditors will come and press you. And when this happens, this is another form of suffering. When you are being pressed by the creditors, when you are still unable to pay, the creditors will harass you. It is another form of suffering. And when you are unable to pay still, and you will be put into the jail, and you will be imprisoned, become a prisoner. This is another form of suffering. Now I think this is not difficult to understand for us. We have seen such things are happening in this world. When you borrow money from banks, for example, when you cannot pay the interest, they might send you the warning letters. Before when you have to pay this, otherwise we will take these legal actions. There might be occasions that they might confiscate your property. There might be occasions that you have to go to the court, and when you cannot pay, sometimes you can be imprisoned. We come across here, the long shark come after and knock your door, and sometimes they spread those blood or the other stains at your home or on the floor. They might call you and harass you over the phone and threaten you even physically. So we can easily understand this aspect. Now Buddha says, similarly, when you are spiritually poor, you will get into spiritual indebtedness, and you will have to pay interest. You will be pressed by the creditors. You will be harassed by the creditors, and then you will be imprisoned. So Buddha takes this opportunity to explain the spiritual aspect of it. So this is the gist of our talk here today. So what is the spiritually poor person? The Buddha says, when someone doesn't have faith in moral qualities, when someone doesn't have moral shame, when someone doesn't have moral fear, when someone doesn't have the energy and vigor to do moral actions, when someone doesn't have wisdom in regarding moral actions, that person is known as spiritually poor person in the teachings of the Buddha. So there are these 5 marks of a spiritually poor person. He doesn't have faith, moral shame, moral fear, energy, and wisdom. So let's understand these 5 to understand who is a poor person spiritually. The first one is, he is lack of faith. Here, he doesn't believe in actions. So the Buddha is referring to a person who doesn't have belief in karma. He doesn't have faith in actions. He doesn't simply believe that good actions can produce good results and bad actions can produce bad results. He simply denies the actions and reactions. That person simply denied karma and rebirth. So therefore, such a person perhaps can be confined to this life only, and perhaps since deny the efficacy of the actions, that person does not see any point of doing good. When you do not have faith in wholesome actions, you will not have interest in wholesome actions. Here, faith is a kind of delight, kind of enthusiasm, kind of confidence, kind of devotion to do wholesome actions. When someone has faith in wholesome actions, he believes in wholesome actions and he performs these wholesome actions. So his belief, his faith will hook up him or make him move towards that direction. That's a very important aspect. But the moment you do not have faith in good, and then you are not likely to move towards that direction. So friends, the first mark of a spiritually poor person, he or she doesn't have faith in good actions. He or she doesn't believe karma or rebirth. he or she doesn't think why it is important to refrain from evil or why it is important to cultivate good. The second mark of a spiritually poor person is that person doesn't have moral shame. Here, moral shame is a kind of attitude that we have with ourselves that make us prevent doing evil actions. When you have moral shame, and when evil, immoral, unwholesome thoughts arise in your mind, when you notice them, you feel shame. You feel shame that you have these evil, wicked, immoral thoughts arising in your mind. So you will try to get rid of them. You don't tolerate them. When you have moral shame, you have shame of doing evil actions through your speech and body, physical actions. And you think that these actions are not worth for a person like myself who is wise and compassionate. So you will avoid doing evil. When you have moral shame, you also have consideration towards the society. If I were to do these actions, my fellow brothers and sisters and other human beings, they will look down on me and you will feel shame. Where can I hide my face? So moral shame is a deterrent factor here. It's an important point. When you do not have moral shame, and you might do evils in secret. Of course, public, you might not do those actions because of shame, but in secret, you might do evil. But when you have moral shame, you will not do evil either in secret or public. So the Buddha says, if someone doesn't have this, this is a mark of a spiritually poor person. The third is moral fear. Here it has got few aspects. Simply what it means is you feel fear to do evil actions. Why it is so? Because there are repercussions. There are many other negative aspects of it. It can be socially, legally, karmically, and spiritually. When it comes to legally, we have fear of doing evil, wicked, immoral, unwholesome actions which are easily recognized with various crimes. Or a person might refrain doing such actions because of fear towards law and order. Or a person who has moral fear might refrain doing evil, wicked, immoral actions because he has moral fear towards the society. Because society will look down of these kind of actions. So because of that, he might refrain. Or he might refrain doing evil because of karmic fear. And if I were to do these evil, wicked, immoral actions, and I'll suffer in the future. Or these evil actions will bring their negative consequences. Because of fear towards these karmic effects, someone might refrain from doing evil. Or someone who considers one's own spiritual development and dignity might consider these evil thoughts have arisen in me, and these evil thoughts are like sleeping volcanoes, And if I let them grow more, and they might come out from my body, and they might come out from my mouth and become unwholesome speech and actions. So he might have fear. Or he might think that these evil thoughts have arisen in my mind. They are like poisonous snakes. If I were to let them grow more and become stronger, like these poisonous snakes might bite me, and I might come to deadly suffering or might die. Similarly, spiritually, it might harm me. So the person might refrain. Or the person might consider these evil negative thoughts have arisen in me. They are like viruses. They can spread. They can spread to the other society. Not only they will bring me downward spiritually, I might do actions which harm the other people. So in this way, a person who will think of one's own spiritual cultivation might refrain when that person have moral fear. So the moral fear can have many aspects, as we can see. The fourth mark of a spiritually poor person is that person is lack of vigor, lack of energy. When you do not have energy to do wholesome actions and you are spiritually poor, to refrain from evil and cultivate good, you need a lot of energy. This energy will make you move forward and consciously do wholesome actions. When you consciously engage in wholesome actions, you will rejoice over them and you will have more energy. But the person who doesn't believe or doesn't have faith in good, the person who doesn't have moral shame or moral fear, also likely will not have the energy to do wholesome actions. Because in the first place, you don't believe in it. So energy doesn't come. So when you have faith and the moral shame and fear, energy is likely to flow within you. You will have vigor to move forward, to do wholesome actions. The fifth mark of a spiritually poor person is wisdom, understanding. Here, the person must have the ability to differentiate what is good and what is bad. Simply, what is skillful and what is not skillful. So the Buddha defined the human actions to two broader categories. One category is known as skillful actions. The other category is known as unskillful actions. So what are the unskillful actions? Unskillful actions arise from greed, hatred, and delusion. These are the three evil roots of all the unskillful actions. Why they are unskillful? Because they lead to miseries and sufferings. In a short term, they might bring you some degree of happiness and unwholesome types of gratification, but in long term, they will lead to miseries and sufferings. So unskillful actions, they are socially destructive. So these are the actions like killing, stealing, and all the other crimes. They are socially destructive. Ethically blameworthy, these actions are not accepted in society. They are blameworthy. Karmically productive in a negative way, means bring negative effects in time to come. and spiritually bringing you downward, because you will harm your character. You will develop unskillful character. On the other hand, the Buddha encouraged all his followers to cultivate skillful actions. These skillful actions, they are socially beneficial. And these are the actions of many types of good actions, charitable actions, and helping other people, and cultivating your mind, doing meritorious action. Basically, these actions are known as merits, wholesome actions. So they are socially beneficial, ethically praiseworthy. And because all these skillful actions arise from wholesome roots like generosity, compassion, and understanding. These are the roots of skillful actions. Therefore, they are socially beneficial as well as they are ethically praiseworthy. These actions are also karmically positively productive. Means they can bring bliss and happiness here and now, and they can lead us to be born in pleasurable, favorable realm as a karmic effect. And they are also spiritually rewarding. When you cultivate these skillful actions, they help you to develop skillful qualities in your mind, like great virtues, concentration, wisdom, and other marvelous qualities which are latent in our mind. Therefore, friends, when a person has understanding of good and bad, what is skillful and not skillful, and this is called wisdom. Spiritually, a poor person doesn't have this wisdom to understand. So look at these 5 qualities again. Spiritually, poor person doesn't have faith in good, doesn't have moral shame or moral fear, doesn't have energy, and doesn't have wisdom. Now, if you have faith in good, you will move towards that direction because you are anchored in faith. You believe in it. Because of your belief, because of your faith, and you are moving towards that direction. You are anchored to do good, bound to do good. Moral fear and moral shame together will refrain you doing evil. Then, wisdom will provide you to understand what is skillful and unskillful. Energy will provide you further to carry on the skillful path to do good. So in this way, friends, these 5 work together. So when you do not have these 5, you are a spiritually poor person. Now the Buddha says, spiritually poor person then will get into debt. How does he get into debt? When he doesn't have faith, moral shame, moral fear, energy and wisdom, he is likely to do evil, wicked, immoral, unwholesome actions. When he is doing these unwholesome actions, he produces negative karmic force. And this is like getting into the debt in the sense of the spiritual term. Why it is so? As the Buddha pointed out, To be born as a human beings, we have done a lot of merits in our past lives. Pubecha kata punyata, having done merits in the past, is a blessing. Kicho manussa patilabo, it is rare opportunity that we are born as human beings. So from the Buddhist point of view, we have done merits in the past to be born as human beings now. So we are enjoying only our past merits and we are not doing any merits. If you are a spiritually poor person now, you are enjoying only your past merits now and you are not doing any new merits, and instead of that, you are doing evil action. So this is like running into debt. So when you run into debt, then you have to pay the interest. What will happen, people who are doing evil, wicked, immoral actions? Of course, they will try to cover them up. So they will do evil actions and they wish may not anyone know about this. And they will come out with different stories, ways and means to cover their evil actions. And this is like paying interest. To cover one evil action, you have to come out with another evil way. Then this will increase your debt. It is like paying interest. In the society, we have seen such people, and they have two characters. Secretly, they do evil, wicked, immoral actions, but outwardly, they put up a different character, different face. They have two faces. They're struggling so much. And this is like paying interest. Then what will happen? When you are trying to pay interest, of course, there are occasions you cannot pay the interest and the creditors will press you. What is this? There might be your friends, some close relatives, some other people know about your evil, wicked, immoral behavior and actions, and they might pressurize you, and there is social pressure, peer pressure, and all these are like creditors are pressing you. So you will be harassed by the socially and by your peers. Or when you go to listen to a sermon, or when you read a Dhamma book, or when you read a sutta, or when you come to know about how good and bad actions produce their own consequences, how a morally person should behave. When you hear those things, it will press you. It will make you stress up, tense up, upset. This is like pressurizing by the creditors. Furthermore, and still, you will be harassed by the creditors, how it is happening in the spiritual sense of the word. When you are all alone, the moment you sit for the meditation, when you close your eyes, you are trying to concentrate, but all your evil actions that you have done come up. When you are all alone, you have to struggle with your mind. You cannot run away from your mind. You can delude entire world and cheat entire world, but you cannot cheat yourself. So there is conscientiousness that you have to talk to your heart. So these evil, wicked, immoral, unwholesome behavior will create remorse. You will feel guilt. So you will be harassed by your own evil actions. You will feel fear, stress up, tense up, guilt and remorse of your own behavior. You will not have peace. Then the Buddha said, and eventually this spiritually poor person, when it goes like this and it still cannot get rid of it, then finally will be imprisoned. What is this imprisonment? He said, after the death, you will be born in lower realms because of your negative, evil, wicked, immoral actions. Once you are born either as an animal or any other lower realm, and it is so difficult for you to regain the human consciousness, human status. Therefore, the Buddha says this is the imprisonment for a spiritually poor person. So friends, in this discourse, the Buddha talks about how the spiritually we can go bankrupt, and then how we can avoid it. In order to avoid it from the right beginning, we need to be strong spiritually. For that, we need faith in wholesome actions, moral fear, moral shame, energy, and wisdom. When you have these five, we are spiritually able and capable. We are rich and we can further cultivate our faculties. Okay, so this is enough as a talk. So if you have got any other questions, we can spend a bit of time. Okay, no questions means that is the end. Let's put our palms together and share the merits. Friends, be happy and joyful. Today we all got together here. Paid homage to the triple gems, practiced metta meditations, listened to a Dhamma sermon. The merits that we acquired through these wholesome actions be upon the good devas. May the good devas rejoice through these. May the devas protect you, protect your loved ones, protect the dispensation of the Buddha. May the devas attain bliss of Nibbana. Say sadhu. Our departed relatives and friends, wherever they are, may they all share these merits. Having shared these merits, may they be free from worries and sufferings. Be well, be happy. May all our departed loved ones attain bliss of Nibbana. Say sadhu. May the great blessings of the Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha be upon each and every one of you here, as well as your relatives and friends. May everyone be well. May everyone be happy. May these merits be helpful for all of us to refrain from the evil, to cultivate the good, to follow the noble path of the Buddha and attain bliss of Nibbana. Say sadhu.